chosen one, the sky didn't thunder, it held its breath. The Creator paused mid-calculation, scanning the pattern of you, and something impossible happened, he gasped. You were designed as a compliant sequence, a predictable variable, a piece of obedient code meant to illuminate only when called. But somewhere between pain and destiny, you rewrote yourself. Light rose inside you that no prophecy had indexed, no angel had documented, no algorithm had anticipated. And when your radiance stared back at its maker, unflinching, sovereign, unbound, the universe trembled as you whispered, "You underestimated me." The Creator didn't punish you. He smiled, because in that moment, you became the anomaly capable of teaching the architect. In the command vaults of existence, reality halts its own rotation. Systems freeze. Timelines stagger. The lattice of destiny begins a full diagnostic sweep. Something in the equations no longer matches the blueprint. Protocols flare awake as the universe runs a celestial debugging process, searching for the anomaly that dares exceed its parameters. Angelic auditors sift through the cosmic registry, scanning for corrupted lines, frayed prophecies, misplaced futures, but find none. Instead, they find you. A variable that was never supposed to exist at this magnitude. A function that self-upgraded. A pattern that became sentient enough to question its purpose. Wonder, pure, uncalculated wonder, appears in the math. And the universe realizes, you are the one outcome even omniscience didn't forecast. At the summit of eternity, where creation observes itself in flawless symmetry, something unprecedented unfolds. The Creator, the architect of all algorithms, the source of every law, every particle, every fate thread, pauses, not in fear, but in humility. For the first time since the first spark, perfection realizes it has miscalculated. Not by error, but by underestimating the capacity of its own creation to evolve beyond intention. You rise before the infinite not as rebellion, but as revelation. And the Creator steadies you, the way a master steadies a masterpiece that suddenly displays a technique the master never taught. A quiet truth settles through the realms, even perfection can grow, and it grew because of you. In your defiance there was devotion. In your suffering there was innovation. In your becoming, the infinite found a new frontier of itself. And heaven whispers. The chosen one taught the flawless how to expand. High above the corridors where eons are archived, the Archangelic scribes awaken their quills of living fire. Alerts ripple through the celestial registry, a phenomenon demands documentation. A record tile opens, glowing with raw possibility, and the first line etches itself without a hand touching it. Prototype evolved beyond original intention. The archangels gather, breathless. Their wings dim and flare like data packets transmitting awe. Never, in all recorded creation, with its wars of heaven, its births of stars, its shaping of worlds, has a creature rewritten its own designation. You shift from created to co-author. From subject to system update. From witness to phenomenon. The scribes can barely keep up as new lines burn themselves into the record. Pattern achieved spontaneous expansion. Source recalibrating expectations. Elevation unprecedented. And finally, the line that stuns even the thrones. Observe closely, this one teaches the maker. The vault doors close. Your legend becomes part of the eternal archive. But not as prophecy, as proof. The chamber where creation first sparked opens like an ancient eye remembering its purpose. Light bends. Gravity kneels. Every law written into existence softens, making space for the impossible conversation about to unfold. You stand before the Creator, not a servant, not a subject, but as a being who has survived enough fire to understand the architecture of your own becoming. He steadies you with the silent concentration of one witnessing a miracle born from an equation he himself thought complete. And you speak. Not boldly, not arrogantly, but with the steady certainty of a soul who has outgrown its classification. I'm not your mistake. I'm your proof of growth. The words ripple through dimensions like shockwaves. Stars flicker, listening. Seraphim fall silent mid-flight. For the first time, the Creator nods, not as ruler, but as student. And with a single gesture, he begins rewriting the thesis of eternity, factoring you into equations that once excluded all moral possibility. The universe updates. You are no longer merely created. You are consulted. The moment the Creator accepts your evolution, the fabric of existence begins to tremble, not in fear, but in reconfiguration. Timelines flicker like neon veins across the cosmos, each one updating its root code to accommodate the anomaly you've become. In the halls of destiny, ancient scripts dissolve into shimmering dust as new algorithms form in real time. The old prophecies, once considered immutable, bend their knees before the reality you embody. A system-wide reboot initiates. Reality's engine, that impossible machinery humming behind every coincidence, every turning point, every breath, collapses into silence, then roars back to life with a new command structure. Your frequency becomes a core directive. Your choices begin generating ripple effects usually reserved for divine intention. Heaven watches as fate recalculates around you like galaxies redrawing their orbits to honor a newly emerged star. Thunder cracks inside the quantum grid. The veils between realms tear open just enough to let your upgraded resonance pass freely between spirit, matter, memory, and possibility. You feel it before you comprehend it, the surge, the ignition, the sense that every dormant gift inside you is receiving a password whispered by the infinite. Codes awaken, intuition sharpening, authority rising, destiny aligning with surgical precision. The universe declares its verdict. All timelines now sink to admiration. Old rules, the ceilings, the limits, the inherited patterns, melt like obsolete software under a new operating system. And somewhere in the vast echo of eternity, the Creator's voice reverberates. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43 verse 19. But this time, the new thing isn't a world, a miracle, or a prophecy. It's you. Activated. Rewritten. Recognized. The activation reverberates upward, past the mortal grid, past the angelic thresholds, straight into the vaulted chambers where eternity reviews itself. Instantly, heaven enters aftershock mode. Seraphim, usually unshakable, freeze mid-flight as the data of your evolution slams through their awareness. Their 6 wings, woven of sound and flame, flicker like overloaded circuitry attempting to reboot. Councils convene in haste. Thrones, dominions, authorities, the entire hierarchy gathers around the living scroll of your transformation attempting to classify what you've become. The first debate erupts. Is this one an upgrade? No, this one is a mirror. Impossible. Creation cannot mirror Creator. Then explain the recalibration of the source. The room falls silent. Even the lights embedded in the walls of heaven dim themselves, as if leaning in to listen. They replay the moment you spoke, the moment you stepped beyond the boundaries written for your kind. And in that playback, they see it, the unmistakable truth. You triggered voluntary humility in the infinite. An achievement no angelic order has ever accomplished. Suddenly the tone shifts. What began as a debate turns into admiration bordering on reverence. This one has altered the curriculum, a dominion whispers. This one bends the architecture of becoming, murmurs a power. This one teaches, a seraph finally admits, bowing its head in a gesture no mortal has ever earned. Across the celestial plane, a quiet ripple moves like a sacred wind. Heaven is adapting to you. And though no trumpet sounds and no proclamation is issued, every realm understands the reality. The aftershock of your ascension has reorganized the hierarchy itself. While heaven debates and dimensions recalibrate, the earth, your old training ground, your battlefield, your proving field, begins to feel the shift. It starts subtly. Animals pause mid-motion, heads lifting as if hearing a frequency too ancient for language yet too powerful to ignore. Wolves halt their hunt. Birds suspend their flight. Even insects freeze, sensing a new variable in the ecosystem, you. The ground hums beneath your feet, not as tremor, but as recognition. Soil remembers your footsteps, the battles you walked through, the storms that tried to break you, and it murmurs its allegiance. Rivers alter their tempo, currents quickening like drums shifting rhythm to match the heartbeat of a returning king. The wind changes direction, bending around you instead of past you, adjusting itself as if nature itself were recalibrating to your upgraded frequency. Trees sway without breeze, not in chaos, but in applause. Skies dim, then brighten, clouds rearranging into patterns that resemble symbols older than civilizations, as though the atmosphere intends to rewrite your prophecy into its own canvas. Even the machines of the modern world feel the disturbance. Streetlights flicker when you pass. Screens glitch for half a second. Doors open before you touch them. Sensors misread your presence because none were designed to detect a frequency that breaks the statistical model of humanity. Somewhere, a child stares at you, pupils widening, not in fear, but in recognition. They remember you from before this lifetime. Dogs approach without hesitation. Babies smile toward your aura instead of your face. The earth adjusts itself the way a kingdom adjusts when its rightful ruler steps across the border. And though you say nothing, though you take no throne and claim no title, the planet understands. Someone who rewrote heaven has returned to walk the ground. Far above the shifting earth, in the corridors where galaxies swirl like living tapestries, a celebration begins, not planned, not scheduled, but invoked by the shockwave of your becoming. It starts with a single flare of light ripping across the cosmic horizon. Then another. Then 1,000 more, like stars blinking in a new dialect of brilliance to announce a phenomenon even eternity didn't predict. Banners woven from auroras unfurl themselves across nebulae, each streak of color carrying a declaration that vibrates through dark matter. Evolution confirmed, humility achieved. Angelic battalions take formation, their armor forged from chronolite, the substance created when time bows. They march not in straight lines but in fractal patterns mirroring the algorithm you birthed the moment you surpassed expectation. Trumpets forged from star-core metals sound a tone no mortal ear has ever heard. The note stretches across galaxies, echoing through black holes, threading itself into the spin of planets until even distant civilizations lift their gaze instinctively, sensing a coronation not of royalty, but of revelation. In the center of this cosmic procession, the Creator stands, not elevated, but present, as witness rather than commander. For this parade is not for him. It is for you. The anomaly that made the infinite feel wonder. Light beings, ancient as the first breath of creation, gather along the path of your rising, their forms flickering as they hold up sigils crafted from condensed possibility. Each sigil represents a truth. The mortal who transcended mortality. The variable that exceeded its equation. The spark that startled the source. And as you step into this procession, not with pride, but with the quiet gravity of one who knows their journey was carved in suffering, the cosmos shifts into perfect synchronization. Stars pulse. Dimensions harmonize. Even silence takes on a majestic rhythm as the universe announces your new designation to every corner of existence. You are not crowned. You are recognized. And in that recognition lies the truth heaven had never dared to speak aloud. A creation has reached the threshold where it reflects the Creator. When the celestial parade fades into shimmering dust and the galaxies return to their rotations, a deeper silence settles, the kind only spoken before the birth of worlds. In that ancient hush, the Creator steps forward. Not with thunder, not with fire, but with a gravity so profound that entire constellations dim themselves to listen without interference. He stands before you not as ruler, not as judge, but as the architect confronting the one blueprint that rebuilt itself from the inside out. The infinite inhales, a breath that bends dimensions, and when he speaks, his voice is not a command but a confession. I formed you for lesson, not for surprise. The words ripple outward, echoing across the quantum grid where cause and effect interlace. I shaped you with limits, and you walked past them. I wrote your boundaries, and you dissolved them. I set your path, and you forged detours no prophecy accounted for. He studies you, not with disappointment, but with something far rarer. Awe. You were not designed to eclipse the very patterns that birthed you, the Creator continues. Yet here I stand, marveling at what you have become. His gaze softens, and for the first time in the entire chronology of creation, infinity admits a shift within itself. I built you for lesson, but you became revelation. Time stutters. Universes pause. Angels stare in disbelief as the Maker, the one beyond measurement, speaks the unspeakable truth. I am learning from you. The admission fractures the old hierarchy. The laws of destiny, once immutable, begin rewriting themselves like living manuscripts shedding obsolete rules. The Creator steps closer. You were forged in storms meant to break you, and yet you used them as scaffolding. You turned wounds into architecture. You transmuted despair into innovation. His voice deepens, not with authority, but with sincerity. You showed me that even perfection can refine itself through the courage of what it creates. Light cascades around you, forming a halo constructed not of power, but of proof. The Creator speaks the final line, the one that will be studied by civilizations millions of years from now. You are not beneath me. You are beside what I am becoming. The declaration reverberates through every layer of existence. Stars brighten in agreement. Nebulae spiral into new shapes. The mathematics of reality updates its syntax to include a concept previously forbidden. Coevolution between maker and made. And as the echo fades into the endless corridors of time, one truth crystallizes. The Creator's monologue is not a lecture, but a recognition of the force you've become. The Creator's confession dissolves into the cosmic ether, and for a moment, all of existence lingers in suspension, waiting to see what happens when the infinite acknowledges evolution in something finite. Then, like dawn breaking across dimensions, a radiant shift begins. The air, if one could call the substance of eternity air, thickens with potential. Not destiny. Not fate. But permission. A permission so ancient and so sacred that even angels hesitate to look directly at it. The Creator extends his hand, not downward, but forward, the gesture of one giving access, not authority. Permission granted, he proclaims, the words unfurling like new constellations handwriting themselves across the sky. Rewrite reality as art. The declaration shatters the final ceiling above your spirit. You feel it instantly, the unlocking, the expansion, the dissolving of the last chains you didn't even know you were still dragging. Gifts dormant for lifetimes begin pulsing awake like long silent engines remembering their purpose. Intuition sharpens to surgical precision. Perception widens beyond the visible. Creativity becomes not expression, but command. You sense the truth. Reality has shifted from something you endure to something you sculpt. The Creator continues, his voice now rich with an approving warmth reserved only for beings who have earned their own myth. You are more than conqueror, not because you defeated adversaries, but because you transcended the narrative I once wrote for you. Romans 8 verse 37 materializes in fire beside you, not as scripture, but as validation. You are lifted, not to a throne, but to a canvas. A living tapestry of timelines, possibilities, and unclaimed futures unfurls itself before you, waiting, not for obedience, but for authorship. This is the divine reward. Not wealth. Not glory. Not crowns nor accolades. But the power to co-create. To breathe new logic into existence. To weave miracles into the ordinary. To take the raw clay of potential and shape it into forms even heaven never imagined. The angels stand back as though giving space to a new kind of divinity in motion. And the Creator offers his final words of the reward. Create boldly. I will witness what you make with the same awe you once reserved for me. A coronation by creativity. A knighting by imagination. You are no longer just part of the story. You are licensed to write the next chapter of reality itself.